Efficient weight loss, a coveted aspect of life that everybody hopes to achieve. A majority of people at some point in life will see, man, I need to shave off a couple pounds. And that's okay because that was me as well. I know what it's like. It's a tumultuous, tedious, and hard point in time that requires an extreme amount of dedication. And I'm familiar with the struggles that come along with it because I went through it myself. But what are the necessary precautions that one must take in order to achieve such an amazing feat such as weight loss? Well, I'll tell you what, there's two main factors: activity level and diet. I want to address the diet first because I feel like this is the most crucial, and I feel like this is what the majority of people think is most crucial because it is. And when I say that the six pack is made in the kitchen, I'm not lying. Although someone's activity level is important for promoting weight loss, diet is the single most important component when it comes to losing weight. And making sure you're eating all the necessary food groups, getting your necessary amounts of micro and macronutrients is definitely key in weight loss. And the macronutrients that you want to really work on is like make sure you're getting enough protein, make sure you're getting enough carbs, and your fat sources. And your micronutrients are your vitamins and minerals that you're going to be consuming from eating your food throughout the day. And so the macros that you want to be kind of going towards, like lean proteins like chicken breast, tuna, tilapia, lean cut steak, and lean cut ground beef. Those are only a few examples. If you're not much of a meat eater, you can also do like beans. But the only thing with beans is that they're not a complete amino acid. So in order for you to make it a complete amino acid, you have to combine it with rice, and then you make it a complementary protein. And that's what a complementary protein is when you get two foods, you bring them together, and then they turn into a complete amino acid or a complete protein. So beans are an amazing option that are heart healthy and popular option for people that don't want to eat meat. And clean carbs are also something that you really want to make sure the focal point because they're very efficient in weight loss. You don't want anything fatty, like French fries won't work because they're high in fat, very calorie dense. You don't want those. You want clean carbs like white rice, brown rice, whole grains, sweet potatoes, and red potatoes. Those would be your friends. That's your energy source. You want to make sure you're getting enough of that. And also fats. I know typically when you hear fats, like, oh my God, fats. Like, yeah, it's definitely discouraging when you're like, oh yeah, you have to eat a lot of fats. But no, you do. You need healthy fats. It's not the fat that matters. It's the source that matters. So you want to make sure you're getting good fats. You want to get fats like almonds and also avocados. Those are amazing sources of some healthy fats that you should be eating that are definitely necessary. Also, fresh greens and fruits are necessary for meeting your micronutrient goals as well as your also carbohydrate goals. So they're very versatile. Make sure you get enough fruits and greens as well. And as for activity is super important. You got to make sure you're moving. It could be hiking, running, resistance training. As long as you're moving, you want to be able to be expending calories. The CDC says that you should have about 150 minutes of moderate activity and 75 minutes of vigorous activity throughout the week to put yourself into a higher caloric deficit. Now, what is a caloric deficit? I'll explain this right now. A caloric deficit is being under your maintenance amount of calories. Your maintenance amount of calories is what you would have to consume right now in order for you to stay at your current body weight. And in order for you to promote weight loss, you have to be under that. So caloric deficit makes sure that you're under that maintenance amount in order for you to promote weight loss. Typically when you start, it's around 300 to 500 calories, and then it stacks as the week goes on. So say you're at 300 calories a day, then throughout a whole week, you'd be 2,100 calories under your maintenance level, and that would be your caloric deficit for throughout the week. And that is the main thing. This is where diet and activity go hand in hand. They both work together to create a caloric deficit, which ultimately provides weight loss. And a few tips for efficient weight loss is to, yes, of course, avoid processed foods, but you also want to enjoy yourself sometimes. Reward yourself. Make sure you, it's optional, but you can get a meal throughout the week. Nothing too big, nothing that'll take you out of your caloric deficit. You can always reward yourself with a meal. Everybody wants to enjoy themselves at some point. And starving yourself is definitely not a viable option. Deprivation of necessary macro and micronutrients is totally detrimental to the body. And Katie Davidson, who is a registered dietitian with Healthline, says that over time your body responds to the deprivation by reducing your metabolic rate and making it harder for you to burn calories. And when it's hard for you to burn calories, it's harder for you to get into a caloric deficit, which will just totally mess with your weight loss. And we don't want that. Also, it has other negative effects like messing with the skin, the bones, and reproductive health. And in the name of health, we want to be healthy. So try to make sure that we're eating all the foods that we can if we want to promote weight loss, eating all the correct foods. And one more piece of info that I wanted to mention is how much weight you should expect to lose each week. Mayo Clinic says that over the long term, it's smart to aim for about 1 to 2 pounds per week. That's the optimal amount of weight that you should be wanting to lose throughout each week. 1 to 2 pounds, I think, is the perfect amount, and it's definitely the standard for the amount of weight you would like to lose. The journey of fat loss is one of sacrifice, hard work, and dedication. But with time, those sacrifices become habit, and it's never easy. Like I said, I know from experience, it's definitely difficult at first, but you get used to it, and then it becomes habit. But with great sacrifice comes great reward, and prioritizing health is so very important for achieving longevity. And everybody just make sure to love your body and it'll love you back. Thank you very much. And I enjoyed this course. Thank you guys.